everybody, I'm back again. I'm going to jump in with the Affirmators Tarot. Oracle. Affirmators Oracle. That'd be cool if they had a tarot. I think that'd be cute. We'll get some general messages and then I'll use tarot to clarify and dig a little deeper into what the messages might mean. This is a general message, so it's not going to resonate for everybody. Take what fits and leave the rest behind. I know everybody says that. I always like to say if any of the messages create any sort of anxiety or anxiousness, it's not for you. Messages should not create anxiousness or anxiety. That is based in fear, not in love. So even if a message isn't necessarily the most positive, but it's coming from a place of love and it is meant for you, you're going to have a soul reassurance. You're going to know. So, as I said, take what fits and leave the rest behind. We'll just get a couple of cards and then we'll go a little deeper with the tarot. Spirit, what messages do you have? The collective or the highest, greatest good. All right. Clarity. So clarity, stopping to listen to my inner self. I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar, and the mental chatter is a confusing, bitter rind that I shall peel off and chuck into the garbage or compost heap if your mental chatter happens to be organic. That's cute. All right. So you're gaining clarity about something. Something that maybe has been kind of plaguing your mind. I just got a glimpse of the crows. I use the Lightseers tarot a lot, and there's these crows that are drawn a lot in the swords suit. And I just saw a bunch of crows, so there could be a lot of mental chatter and something's plaguing your mind, or it comes up a lot. Maybe you're constantly asking yourself questions about something that's on your mind and you're not getting the answers you need, but you are getting clarity on something or about to get clarity on something. You might be feeling a little confused. Let's get one more. Okay, we have self-love. I like what's on their shirts. It says, one says you're the best and the other says no you are. Alright, so self-love. I openly embrace a feeling of self-love, the PG kind. I love myself because I understand myself. I love myself as the most committed partner I will ever have. I show myself love any way that I can, and when I screw up, I remember to be sweet and gentle with myself. If not, I'm gonna make myself sleep on the couch. Got that, self? All right. There is, first, the thing that I'm getting off of these two cards immediately, between clarity and self-love, is that something that's really been on your mind, you're asking a lot of questions about. I think that clarity is going to come through a lot easier when you're showing yourself a lot more compassion about the feelings you have regarding this chatter on your mind. When we approach the way that we feel with judgment or criticism, or I shouldn't feel this way, or that doesn't make sense, we're not being gentle with ourselves. We're not being kind to ourselves, having self-compassion. And so I think that if you approach what is on your mind with a lot more compassion and understanding about how you feel regarding the situation and just your part in whatever this is, you approach it with more love and you get more clarity and more understanding because you're more receptive and open to something bigger. Because when we approach something with that criticism, that doubt, that judgment, we're coming from like a fearful ego place. And that's a very contracted space to be in. It's a protective space. We're pulling back to protect ourselves, to, judge a situation. It's all kind of fear-based. It's on a lower vibrational energy. And so when you approach something with a lot more compassion, self-compassion, and love to try to understand something, a situation, an experience, you allow yourself to be open to the possibilities of how you will get clarity on any matter that is really plaguing your mind. It doesn't have to be like a bad plague, right? It's not like it's something that's really burdensome. It can just be that it's on your mind a lot. So let's get some tarot out to clarify this further for guidance, confirmation, or reassurance. Highest messages for the greatest good of the collective for this reading. Please clarify the cards further. Paint me a picture. Okay, so first out we have the Four of Wands. This is an exciting energy. This is a positive card. I read everything upright. But Four of Wands is about stability. It's about creating a solid foundation. It's also kind of an exciting time. Sometimes it can depict like a marriage or a union happening within the four, a union that's coming together to build a solid foundation and something strong. It's very celebratory. But yeah, Four of Wands is there's celebration going on. There's a solid foundation that's being built. There's maybe something that's coming together. Something that's being built from the ground up. So let's just see where this goes. Yep. Oops. Okay, whoa. Just had one drop. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups. Aces, new beginnings, fresh beginnings. Cups are about motion and love. Ace of Cups usually means like a new beginning in love. There's a new start in something loving and romantic and beautiful. So it could be, there could be something here about a union with like your partner. So let's keep going. It's like they don't want to speak. Something feels like it's holding back a little bit. There we go. Here's the next one. Major Arcana. This is the World. This is like the culmination. Big. Like this is the end of a chapter where everything's really coming together. But it's a positive ending. It's always a beautiful positive ending. A culmination of something really big. Ooh, okay. I'm not going to take those. Okay. We have Eight of Wands. This is fast movement. This is communication. This is a lot of action. Like maybe a lot of back and forth communication. Lots of action. Just really positive movement forward. Also really fast and unexpected kind of So more, please. The cards are really not wanting to speak. Something's holding back. Okay. This one flipped over. The Ace of Swords. So, new ideas, new open channel of communication. Ace of Swords. Swords is like the mind, intellect, communication. So, you could have opening up communication with somebody, or someone's opening up communication with you. Okay, I'm getting a message here. So, like I said, it could be in love, it could be in a union, right? But what I'm getting, I've kind of got a painted picture here with clarity and self-love. I think that there is definitely something new that's starting up. It could be in love. I feel like it's based in something emotionally fulfilling for you. It's coming from a place of love, like you're doing something or engaging with someone about something that you do love in life, like you love to do or create, and it's something that you're trying to build a solid foundation on. You're starting to build something that you know is going to build for a long time. Like, you know, it has a solid foundation to it, so it's not something that's going to crumble easily, because there is a lot more heart energy in it. The world being that this is something that's like culminating, it's coming together, it's big energy. This is something that's like starting the new chapter of something. So this is a really big deal. This is important. It's big energy. And it's something that's happening really fast. And I think that with the Eight of Wands here, fast movement, lots of communication. I think that there's a new idea. Maybe you could be in cahoots or communication with somebody and there's a lot of back and forth that's happening, or you're taking a lot of action in something creative and you're moving really fast. Like you're creating so much momentum. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Chariot. It's just not as, the energy is not as big or as intense, because the Chariot is a major arcana, but the Ace of Swords is like, you could be doing something and putting a lot of energy and time into it, and by being in the flow, being in that zone, you're having a lot of new ideas and a lot of new, like, oh my gosh, I really want to do this, I really want to do that, and you're bright ideas, wanting to move forward. She's got all these like sketches back here, like the infinity symbol. Looks like there's some geometric drawings or something, and then there's like math. So there's just a lot of really strong, bright ideas coming to surface out of all this action that you're taking. So it could be that you're taking a lot of action and you're creating all these new ideas, and or it could be that somebody's communicating with you, opening up a new channel of communication. There's a lot of back and forth happening. And the way that I'm reading this with these cards up here is you're stepping into, with this world card, you're stepping into something that is a vulnerable place to be. It's something that is close to your heart, something you love, something you enjoy, and you want to do more with it and build for the long term. You want to build into this, right? So you're having all these ideas and you're working towards that. With this clarity card and the self-love, right? Your clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit. The mental chatter is confusing, bitter, and that I shall peel off and chuck in the garbage. So, you know, you're having, you know, ego, intuition, you know, battles here, I think. And then self-love. And when you're stepping into doing something that is very vulnerable for you because it's coming from your heart, it is very easy to move into self-doubt. to allow your ego, I call it the gremlin, to come in and just like, it'll never work. You'll never be successful. People will hate what you do. They'll hate what you say. They won't love your ideas. Everyone's already doing it, right? That very negative self-talk, but your intuition is like, this is beautiful, this is loving, this is coming from the right place. It's going to be successful. You know, you're made for this. You're made for more. And so there is this back and forth about, is this going to work for me? Yes, it's going to work for me. I know, I trust my intuition. And then the ego. So there's this back and forth there. I think and you have all these bright ideas, all this momentum that you're like, I want to take action on this. I'm going to move on this. And you are. And I think that you're just being encouraged to have more self-love. You're more have more self-compassion. When you're moving into something that is a very vulnerable place to be, because you need to reprogram your mind with the positive affirmations and self-talk, right? When your ego steps in, it's like, oh, this isn't safe. People are going to attack you. Like you share something on social media, or you speak for the first time on a stage, you're doing a big talk or something. I don't know. Something you're like, oh my gosh, it won't be good. They're going to hate what I say. I'm not going to make sense, or it's going to be a stupid idea. Nobody's going to care about it. And, they'll hate me. They'll attack me, all these things. That's your fight or flight mode. That's your nervous system jumping the gun to say, I need to protect you. You don't want to do this. It's not safe. Reprogram your mind to speak more positively. You are safe though. Regardless of what anybody says, your ideas are your own. They come from a place of intention and a heart, like a heart space. They're coming from a place of love. So it's coming from the purest place of creation. And that's a beautiful place to be, but that's also a very vulnerable place to be. And you need to be reprogramming your mind and reassuring yourself, no, I am safe. So regardless of what anyone else says, I am safe. I am safe in my body. I am safe in my mind. That gremlin, that ego, thank you for protecting me, but I'm safe and I can do this. And what anyone else says that doesn't support my ideas is not for me. And it doesn't, sure, it can be dismissive, or it can be hurtful, or it can be, hard to get over what other people think, but they're all just opinions. It doesn't actually mean that's what you are, because you are none of those things. Unless, of course, you are a terrible person, but you're not. So, I do feel like Spirit is trying to tell you to, when those thoughts and feelings come up, that you're pursuing something that's coming from a very heart-driven place, to reprogram your mind, to speak into existence, and to say to yourself, I am safe. I am safe in my body. My nervous system is just trying to kick into gear to protect me. Thank you, gremlin. Thank you, ego, for doing what you are trained to do. But I can thrive. I don't have to survive. And I can create a safe space for myself. And by not allowing the internal chatter or the external chatter to get the best of me or convince me otherwise. I am, telling yourself that you are safe and what you create is beautiful and it's supported, and that people will value what you do in life. I think that's what this is saying here, is that there's something that you're really trying to build on, and I'm just getting strong vulnerability with the World card. But like a good vulnerability, right? If you're vulnerable, you're being courageous to be vulnerable, to show up. And not everybody can do that. And I always try to remind myself that when somebody has something to say that's not supportive of my ideas, or not supportive of my life or the things that I love, at least I was able to be the man in the arena, right? You're able to be the man in the arena while they're just in the seats, throwing the tomatoes. Well, they're too scared to be in the arena. So, kudos to you for having the courage and the bravery to be the man in the arena. Not everybody has that strength and the willingness to at least try. What's the worst that's going to happen? You get a tomato on your face? Like, you can go wash that off and keep moving forward. And half the time, I think I remember seeing this or reading this too, is like the people who will boo you the most are the people who have the cheapest seats in the crowd, in the arena, in, whatever. So people who actually pay to see you, pay big bucks, VIP, really want to support you and see you succeed, and they're willing to show up. So that's something to keep in mind. Is just the people who don't matter, they're usually the ones with the cheapest seats. Why are they even there, right? But I do think that Spirit's trying to tell you that when you start to have those moments of self-doubt, self-talk, I'm not good enough, they'll not like what I say, I'm not going to, nervous system's kicking into gear. Remember, you are safe. Remind yourself you are capable. And what's the worst that's really going to happen? Your nervous system kicks in because fight or flight mode is, there is a lion chasing me and I need to run away as fast as I can. But we live in a world where we are creating a life that we can thrive in and we are safe in. I don't see any lions around, the day-to-day life, unless of course you're out in the mountains. There's something here around creating more self-love and self-talk, and by holding that compassion for yourself and the space to just be and to be with those feelings and to remind yourself of the positives that come with being vulnerable, you gain more clarity about a situation. You also start to, like I said, reprogram your mind more consistently to speak more positively. Like, you start to create a relationship with your ego. It's not just something you try to kill off and you try to get rid of. It is something there to protect you. It always has been, always will be. So when you create the relationship with that ego, or I call it the gremlin again, create it like it's a relationship. Thank you for protecting me and doing what you know how to do best. I appreciate you for being there and showing up for me in times when I am scared and, you are trying to just, have my back, but it doesn't need to always be that way. So having a relationship like that and reprogramming your mind to speak more positively, you still honor your ego for existing because it'll always be part of you, but you have a much more balanced relationship in your mind, and you create more self-awareness and self-love, so that you can continue to pursue your dreams with a lot more courage and, bravery. And also you start to kind of get over that feeling of, what if they don't like it? You start, who cares, right? You're just going to keep doing it, because the worst that does happen, when you keep subjecting yourself to that experience, you start to be like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Someone says something. Sometimes I think of it like this too. If you're like an avid social media person, you have a huge following, or you're building that following, say you're on like Instagram, and you share something and so many people have something negative to say, or even on YouTube, people have something negative to say, you can literally give it a thumbs up if you want, because all they're doing is creating activity on your profile. Even if they're negative, thank you. Thank you for giving me your energy, because it still helps me win. It still helps me succeed. Your negative energy is not going to affect me. All it's going to do is affect that person, but they're still giving you their energy and their time, right? You still move forward, and especially in the algorithm, right? If people like your stuff or even thumbs it down or give you a comment, it's interaction. It creates traffic. It creates, I don't quite know how the algorithm works, but I know that if they're giving you a comment, they're still interacting with your, content. Thank you for creating more traffic on my content. I appreciate that. And all they're going to do is create more of that in their own life. It doesn't affect you when your intention is pure to go out. So that's something to also take into awareness and keep in mind when you're being vulnerable, especially on the internet or in social media or even in person. Anybody that just has something negative to say, if that's your biggest fear, is really just going to be supporting you to keep moving forward. Anybody that has something negative to say is not going to always persuade someone else. So it's just, I don't know, the gentle way of saying fuck you, is saying love and light. That's what I always say. So I think that's the message here, is the reassurance, the guidance from Spirit to create more self-love and positive affirmation talk. Not trying to be, positively toxic. That's not what we're going for. But you are able to reprogram your mind and create new neural pathways when you speak positively to yourself and you create the belief with those positive affirmations. So yeah, all right. I thought I was going to want to do more, pull more, but I'm not feeling called to pull more, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this message resonated for some of you, all of you, hopefully all of you. And if you like this message, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. And until next time, thanks for watching.